And once again, we find ourselves on Dragonshy, everybody. So, we are heading... This is actually the Losers Bracket final. Yep, indeed it is. The Cats against the Enjoyers. Another best-of-3 series at the first qualifier for the Banshee Cup, everybody. So, party time. Dragonshy is at this point just becoming the Why are you banning Cho'Gall? Why? Like, seriously. The Cats played Cho'Gall once in a series or twice, and then all of a sudden everybody is banning Cho'Gall against them. Everybody hates fun nowadays. It is such a sad scenario. But yeah. It just feels like Dragonshy is becoming the unofficial starting map for our series. I swear to God, we are not dictating the starting map for these best of threes. Like, they're just coming up with Dragonshy time and time again. But it just is what it is. But yeah, Cho'Gall gets banned. Junkrat also gets the axe quickly. I think that, I mean, again, we can always kind of predict what's happening on that top lane. We're gonna get Rexa here for sure. But let's see how the Cats are gonna do this. Cats had some pretty sweet drafts as well, particularly looking at the winner bracket performance. So, curious to see what they can do here now. I mean, there's always a chance that they're gonna be able to take another victory here. And to be fair, we had those two not going up against each other yet, but the Cats were actually the ones that put the fight to, I was about to say the Saboteurs, the Bathrobe Boys. Yeah, slightly different team now, new name. And Sylvanas. At the Banshee Cup, she has of course a prime position, so yes. The Banshee Queen gets picked first. That's the priority she deserves right here. And let's go for the double pick. Alright, let's see what they're getting. What are we getting here for Dragonshy? This is going to be an early Rexa pick. Are they going to go down a different path? What are they going to also... well, Captain Rex with Genji, Muradin, very early already. Yeah, I mean, Muradin has been played like for ages now in Dragonshy. I still remember when JPL used to pick him over and over again for the Dragonshy games. Muradin was always strong here. Always a favorite pick for most of the teams. You can just easily jump from one lane to another over debris or like over a little bit of forest and then bam, hit that storm bolt. So yeah, JPL love to play that here. Richu on Jana, and we get Rhaegar. Yeah, we had that previously already. For bruiser camps is pretty awesome. Anything that where you can use a lightning shield obviously helps you to clear waves, clear camps. Just overall solid support and something that Lavakal just really loves to play too. So yeah, multiple layers on this as well. I am still hoping that at least at some point in this series we're gonna get something a bit wild. Doesn't have to be Cho'Gall. I'm fine with Abathur, for example. So yeah. But okay, Blaze gets banned. Side lane gets very quickly targeted once again. And I don't think it's really a problem because we have Yrel, we have Rexa, you could go Dehaka, Leoric is still here. I mean, there's plenty of side laners that are absolutely fantastic on Dragonshy. Particularly Rexa and Dehaka come to mind, of course. And I would think that now that we are done with bans, both of them will very likely be picked here. Unless one of the teams wants to go a little bit more aggressive. You could obviously still play some others. Yrel would be next in line, I guess. But off we go with the double pick for the blue team. The Cats trying to show their claws. We already have Genji. And there's Malfurion. And Samuro! Game number 1, Samuro! Damn! I was hoping for a Samuro pick a bit later down the road. But that we're getting him in game number 1 is actually pretty awesome. So, yeah, I'm here for it. Didn't expect it. Very happy that I was wrong on that, though. And now the question, how the Enjoyers are going to react to this. They already got Sylvanas for the damage, they need a side laner, they need a bit more DPS, and Sonya is being picked. Plus Kel'Thas. Alright. Kel'Thas in the house. Give me that gravity lapse. Yeah, game number 1 in the best of 3. Starting things off quickly. Cats against Enjoyers, and our final pick for the blue team. Should be a bit more damage. Very likely going to be another range damage dealer for them on Dragonshy. For Herath, would surprise me if anything else gets picked. But they already, of course, can... well, they could go for another melee too. Samuro is definitely packing a punch and top lane controlled as well, but it is Chromie. First game. Dragonshy, everybody, we're in the losers bracket final of the first qualifier for the Banshee Cup. Let's go. First game of the best of 3 series, and we have on the left the Cats with Drakia on Murden, Deviant on Malfurion, Soaking playing Samuro, Heroes on Chromie, and we got Captain Rex on Genji. Over on the right side of the map, the Enjoyers with Arian on Sylvanas, Richu on Joanna, Alvarez on Kelthas, Lavakal on Rega, and Ether is playing Sonya. Now, the Enjoyers, they have, I mean, it's a bit of a run that they made through the losers bracket now. Find themselves in the losers bracket final and hope to make it straight into the grand final to face off against the Bathrobe Boys, the team of Masquerade, Hazorps, Death Knight, Ultralisk, and Dino. So the big boss is still waiting. That's going to be a best of 5 series, but here we're talking best of 3. And the Enjoyers, they have to not only battle the Cats, but also the internet problems that apparently have been plaguing the team for 2 days now. So let's hope that they're resolved here and they're not struggling too much. But, well, at least for now, we got them fighting it out in the middle. Bit of a 5 versus 5 going on here. Time Walker's pursued as level 1. Samuro is already sitting all the way up at the top and down to the bottom of the map. Having in the meantime, yeah, just a quick rotation coming in from the blue team as they're going for the waves and trying to get that done. So, as is, game number 1. Cats against Enjoyers. Cats had a little bit of a quicker way through the bracket, I want to say. Camps up at the 1 minute mark, so immediately everybody is starting to make their move towards the Siege Giants. We're looking at Kelthas playing with Mana Addict as usual and attempting to get that shield for himself. Now, in an ideal world, you want to get that done before level 10, so that when heroic abilities kick in and the danger of you getting targeted and dying is higher, that you have a bit of a tool that you can use. But we'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Oh. Hello, Sylvanas. There's first blood. The Cat's coming in and getting the kill. Well done. And are they now going for the camp? They were thinking about it, and Genji falls. Couldn't get the camp and then lose a hero. Starting off with the Sylvanas kill and then just getting a bit too greedy, and Genji does what Genji players do. Going a little bit too much ham and then dying. So yeah, he's gone. No chance for him. Up at the top, the attack still raging on as, yeah, Sonya's going for the spin to win. And Soaking is controlling that fairly easily over here. So the problem that he has is that now Sylvanas is here too. And there it is. It's actually the blue team that's pausing. Wait a second. We're used to pauses from your opponents, but what is happening on your end? I'm not quite sure if I can endorse this. We had 1 pause team. I can deal with 1 pause team. I have issues dealing with 2 pause teams. So if that wasn't a tactical pause, by the way, then I don't know what is. I mean, look at this. He is pausing, and it is him that's in trouble. Coincidence? I don't think so. So the blue team is pausing the game, analyzing the situation, realizing quickly that they are currently 2 versus 2, that Ethan and Arian are here, but look at what's coming over there. It is Drakia. They're trying to get a numbers advantage. And where's that Stormbolt when you need it? Well, right there. So, Sonya goes down. Would have never happened without that pause. So yeah, definitely a 3-2-3 moment that we're experiencing. And down at the bottom of the map, it is Chromie that dies. So yeah, party continues. Kill for a kill. It happened earlier with Sylvanas and Genji. And now we saw the same with Sonya and then Chromie dying. So everybody is still hyper-aggressive here, looking for kills. But down at the bottom of the map, Sylvanas shines and helps them to get through those towers. And of course the gate. That's already gone, which means that now they have vision past the gate. That makes every single approach towards it so much safer for them. So yeah, a lot more fun. But then again, we get the stacks together here for the Way of Illusion. And of course have the Mirage too. Drag here in trouble, and bam, goes down. Nicely done also from Alvarez. Kelthas obviously having a real fun time. As up at the top we still have Sonya going up against Samuro. So yeah, the 2 of them just diving in and out the entire time, but the pressure at the bottom just doesn't let up. So here we have the Enjoyers pushing in once again, getting the entire wall destroyed. And maybe even getting a hit onto the fort. Ah, the Archer. Harry the Archer coming in and trying to wreck it, but yeah. It would be kind of fun to have like some kind of like special minions or whatever that can one-shot certain things. There needs to be just like some kind of fun mode. Like, we need an editor. I know that it's never going to happen. It's obviously impossible. It would be way too much work. But it would have been cool if from the beginning we had some kind of editor for the game where you can make some certain fun modes. I mean, personally, I said it before, I would already be happy if Blizzard would allow for custom games that you can pick the same hero multiple times on a side so that you have, I don't know, 5 times Vikings against 5 times Vikings, or 5 times Abathar against 5 times Abathar. Just stuff like that would make it fun. But just imagine if you had a full-on editor where you can play around with. It would be amazing. It's way too much work. It's never going to happen. Even in the heydays of Heroes of the Storm, there was never even an option. But yeah, it would just be so cool. Now, either way, we have 3 kills to 3. The trades and kills, they're still happening. Hasn't changed. Genji's jumping in, and he didn't expect that. Mistakes were made. Genji was sitting there, and he's like, I regret everything. Check this out real quickly. Look at Genji. Think about the vision that he has. Think about his vision here. He sees Sylvana, he's like, I gotcha. And then he jumps in, he's like, oh shit. So, yeah, mistakes were made. Genji gets absolutely destroyed. And it's glorious. Instant regret. Instant regret. But again, he needed to go for it. So that's the lead in kills for the Enjoyers. They were able to do that. We now have them a bit ahead in experience too. And thanks to them grabbing the camp, this is even being increased. No Dragon Knight has really been threatened yet. But alright. Already the jump being made towards the bot lane with the double camp now pushing for Ford. And of course Sylvanas and level 10 abilities are going to help them. So, yeah, the gap, the window is small. The window of opportunity is tiny. I mean, look at the experience that the blue team needs until 10. But it's big enough to cause a serious problem. Murd is losing his hit points. The fort is about to be destroyed here. And it's all because of that tiny, tiny gap in experience. It was perfectly lined up by the Enjoyers. And that just leads to a kill. How many seconds was that? 10, 15 seconds? Sometimes just such a small window is more than enough for you to take a fort down. And now we even have them going for Dragon Knight. Now, they're not likely to claim it, but it applies additional pressure. And it even forces Samuro into the mid lane in order to try and defend this. So, the quest is completed for Keltas. He now has his shield up as well. And, yeah, they are all battling it out over here. Chromie's down at the bottom of the map, trying again for the channel. Mirrodin can move in, and there's the Dragon Knight. Malfurion couldn't get close enough, ran straight into Sylvanas, and regretted everything. And that is a big advantage now for the Enjoyers. They have been on a tear. They made that loser bracket run a reality, find themselves in the loser bracket final, and here they are also looking fairly strong. I mean, this game is still very, very even, but you gotta hand it to them. Gravity Lapse is in, and Soaking is not gonna die here. At least it's unlikely. But Alvaro's sure as hell made him run. So, once again, Dragon's Breath. If you do nothing else with the Dragon Knight, then just use the Dragon's Breath over and over again and play around the cooldown. Ult choice, by the way, for Samuro went straight into Blade Storm. So, is going to focus a bit more on cleaning out those waves and pushing them back. We're having X-Strike as per usual for Genji. And down at the bottom of the map, you actually see him now taking care of some of those waves as well. 4 kills to 3, still fairly close. I mean, you look at experience and obviously it's dead even. But there is that fort that got destroyed at the bottom of the map. That's going to make it much harder for the Cats to claim the bottom shrine, to hold it, more importantly. And a lot easier for the Enjoyers, and they can now start focusing a bit more onto the top lane with Sylvanas. But yeah, there's a lot of hits coming through here. Enjoyers should be pretty happy with where they are right now. And they're trying again for the next quick kill. Sonya for a bit more spin to win action. Bottom of the map has so far not really been attacked, but up at the top we have 2 teams with bruiser camps. And everybody is still walking around here. Sonya is easily, Joanna is easily dodging that, getting the Iron Skin out too. Stormbolt not fully connecting on this one. And yeah, the rotation for the Siege Giant camps, as the top side at least gets pushed a little bit. Alvaro has had some friends over. But he should be able to defend this, and actually it's Chrome who has to worry about this more so than anybody else, because yeah, they still need to deal with the Bruiser camp here. And the fight at the bottom of the map is breaking out, but this is going to be a 4 versus 5. Blue team might have picked up a bit more than they can chew. Blessed Shield is also out. Didn't quite have the impact that they were hoping for, couldn't pick a kill up, but they got at least their Siege Giants, so that's something. And if they wanted to, they could move over to the left side in an attempt to start and take that. But here we go. Quick hit on Lavakal, and damn, Phoenix and the Living Bombs are wreaking havoc in the midst of the blue team. Losing way too much here, and yeah, I think they're going to lose that Siege Giant camp. At least if the red team wants to commit it, I suppose they could. Tranquility, on the other hand, with all of that AoE heal, really helped them. So, either way, we haven't seen a kill in a while, by the way. I think for nearly 3 levels. Is that true? No, for quite some time now. So, Sonya's at the top. They get the Shrine at the bottom. Muradin is immediately trying to retake this. Isn't being met with the gravity lapse. Gets sucked in by Joanna. And a bit of extra damage on him. I mean, not that he does care too much. Can always wait for his trade to heal him back up. Doesn't even have to fully rely on Malfurion, for example. Sylvanas going for all the experience in the middle of the map in the meantime. I have to give it to both of the teams. They're super diligent, just catching as much of the minion experience as they possibly can here, so they don't fall behind. But the passive experience, that's still a bit of a problem. Alright, Chromie with the timeout already, and still in trouble, and barely stopped. Sylvanas barely stopped before she gets the kill. Chromie was so low. Muradin also helping out in that encounter. But he had to retreat too. The entire team was just running, trying to get away here. But it allows Soaking to sneak into the middle. And he gets it, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Dragonite at the bottom of the map. Sylvanas was trying to take the shrine, but she was just a small... I mean, it must have been a millisecond or two that she was too late there. Definitely less than a second, quite a bit. So easily grabbing that Dragonite. Sonya is now all of a sudden dead, and with the blue team getting the kill at the perfect moment in time, they are able to use that Dragonite now. Sylvanas' escape, on the other hand, is really something. I mean, that was special. That was really, really awesome. So, yeah, here we are. Richu gets a bit of an ass kicking. Immediately hearths back. I mean, by the way, guys, in case that you're wondering why you hearths back here, is because once Steady appears, you get an immediate boost on hit points and on mana. So, technically, you're still faster than just walking over and walking back. So, that's the reason why. The phone in the middle gets destroyed. That Dragonite showing value. Level 16 talents are available as well, so the entire game has flipped a little bit. Structurally, they're even, but the lead in experience now goes to the Cats. And this is not too bad. I mean, this is not looking too shabby for them. This is a small gap, but we have Samoro, which always can annoy the hell out of you, and I think this is exactly what they're going to do as the game continues. The longer we go in the game, the more space he has to work with, the better for him. And Soaking is already sitting past the gate, opening that up too, making it possible for Sonya to escape. Even if she moved past the gate or tried to, it's destroyed way too quickly. So 5 kills to 4, and the Cats are gaining tons of momentum here. I mean, they really are. Dodging out on the gravity laps, that was big. Muradin jumping out. Genji, careful. Yep, has to be really careful here. And another attack is happening now as well towards the top side, whereas Samoro is still rotating between the lanes. Now, on the damage side, 36,000 is actually not... If you're looking at the damage numbers that we're seeing from the blue team, it's pretty impressive. We have 32, 33, and 36,000 for Samuro, Chromie, and Genji. So all 3 of them really chipping in, whereas the Enjoyers are very heavily relying on Sylvanas, who's with 33,000, their top damage dealer. And Sylvanas has done a lot. I mean, they got those 4 kills mainly because she dove in and went for them. But Kelthas obviously also needs to be considered here. Now, the one here that we still have to highlight, and that's a bit of a negative note, is that Sonya has just been crushed at the top lane. She's really been suffering. So Ether has trouble currently. Top side, he went off against Samuro, and there were multiple ganks set up against him that really, really made a problem here. So down at the bottom of the map, we're currently having the next attack coming in for camp. This one is an easy one. Nobody is even close from the blue team side. Yes, they sniff it out with Chromie, but they're already too late to do anything about it. So another Bruiser camp is being said to push through the bot lane. But yeah, Sonya, talking about her earlier, still trying to go for spin to win. Nice! That gravity lab. Samuro escaping. And Sylvanas with a Wailing Arrow that hit absolutely nothing. I think she was a little bit too trigger happy there. Would have been amazing for her to hit that, but no. Samuro, he dashed out just before the Living Bomb could go off and potentially kill him. But still a decent attack from the Enjoyers in a very dangerous situation for the Cats. Now, the Cats have not given up on that yet. And Samuro needs to get out of there. He gets the kill! Alright, Samuro gets the kill, but Sonya is... I mean, they killed each other. They literally killed each other there. And it allowed for Genji to take the fort out at the top, so he had a bit of extra time. But yeah, Samuro against Sonya. And he was absolutely willing just to sacrifice himself as long as he gets the kill too. Yeah, Meridian jumping back out. They respected the 1v1 on the other hand, so yeah, gotta respect that. But alright. Top side, still a bit of a push happening with this. And well, in the middle of the map. Still getting a bit of an attack going on with this. Vaz down here, nice trap, Chromie. Can they, not Chromie, can they kind of fall up on that? Yeah. Sylvanas, maybe in trouble. Yeah, it's always, okay, Muradin, Stormbolt, does he have it? Yeah, not in time. Ancestral came out, and Jojo is alive. Damn, that was clutch. Well done by Rega, and the entire red team gets out. But again, they are always suffering some kind of defeat somewhere on the map. Particularly when we're looking towards the top lane right now. So yeah, Sonya's currently sitting tight there and is defending. And she really had to, because the Bridge of Death was hosting a bit of a party. Bruiser camp and minion party. Oh, yeah, they sniffed out Samuro and now he's in trouble. Yeah, he's dead. Is he? He should be. Ah, they should be able to get him. There's nobody following up. Soaking makes it out. I think they had a chance here. Good jukes from him. They had a chance to take him down, but it wasn't really happening, and now we have level 20. For the Cats, Storm Talons. That gives us the Blade Master's Pursuit. After we already have the attack on level 16. Well, the Dragon Knight opportunity already being thwarted by Sonya, who claims the control at the top. Red team isn't quite there yet, but they have their level 20 in a moment or two as well. So let's see what they can do. And well, here we go. Soaking, pushing that out, and they're trying again. And he's gonna get it. They're too late already at the bot lane. They're too late. Another Dragon Knight. Another Dragon Knight for him. And yeah, there it is. 6 kills to 5. Ether, well, can't catch him. Bottom fort should fall now. Cats are slowly taking control of the game. It's 20 versus 20. I mean, we have level 20 versus level 20. It's kind of what you expect from the two teams. From the beginning, it was just blow for blow. Everybody got a kill, counter kill, fort. Another team takes the structure. This is the second objective now for the Cats. They're taking the upper hand here, but generally speaking, the teams are really on eye level. And just look how quickly they're taking the Dragon Knight out. They're not even getting the fort. I mean, talk about wasted. 17 minutes in, yes, it's not really a bad boy that picks up a battle axe and then just cleaves through the fort in 2 hits. But that still feels a bit wasted here. I mean, damn. Yeah, that was rough. So, right now, we have the attack against Muradin. He's gone, and boy, oh boy, the Enjoyers, you give them an opportunity, and they will wreck you. And this seems to be exactly what's happening here. They're trying to go for Chromie, they're trying to get the kill, and, well, scratch the trying, because they did it. Chromie is down, that's 2 heroes gone, and now it's just a question of, okay, what are you doing with this? You have a 5 versus 3 going on. What can you do? While your top lane is going to suffer some catapults. And with another minion wave coming in, those catapults are going to be on the keep very quickly. But they are of course going to try and use the numbers advantage to move through the bot lane, particularly with Sylvanas in their hands, to try and take this one out. And that's the chance right there. This is the opportunity. So here we go. Keep destroyed. Top keep is still taking damage on the red team side. Don't forget about that. But can they go for core? Are they even thinking about it? It feels like they are. I think they were thinking about it and then decided it's a pretty dumb idea. Maybe not a dumb idea, but it's definitely a very risky one, and you don't necessarily want to risk it in that situation. So, yeah, there it is. But again, with that, we now are looking towards more camps claimed. I am just amazed that they did not send anybody back yet towards the top. Yes, the catapults have been taken out by the minions, but the keep is nearly destroyed, and you want to create a bit of a buffer at least. I mean, just create a little bit of a buffer there. Take the catapult out at the minimum. Because eventually your keep is going to fall if you don't take care of it. So they got 2 camps, it's great. Objective is now up as well. And still nobody making a move for the top lane. They're honestly going to lose this to a catapult. This is going to happen. At the bottom of the map, they are trying to go for a kill. It's another Dragon Knight, and it's locked in the middle. I honestly don't really understand what exactly the Enjoyers are doing here. They're having some fantastic fights, they're making some great moves, and every time they need to, they are coming back, they're making their plays, and then you have situations like this where they just give up a Dragon Knight. This happened now at least twice. It's kind of predictable when it happens, and they have nobody in the middle of the map that interrupts it. They have nobody going early for a shrine. And now they have to defend here at the top. One keep is lost. Yes, the Dragon Knight is not going to get anything else. So I guess at the end of the day, they're still happy with this. I mean, that Dragon Knight is just gone within seconds. 20-minute Dragon Knight feels a bit wasted to me, honestly. I felt the same about the last 2. If they didn't send the Dragon Knight towards the top, I guarantee you a catapult would have taken out the keep anyways. But yeah, it's a bit wild. It's definitely a bit wild. Malfurion is the only one that hasn't died on the red team, the blue team side yet. For the red team, it's a little bit different. The only one that is dying is Sonya. Aether is officially the punching bag of the cats. So, yeah. Samuro with a spin to win is sitting at 220,000 siege damage. It's not too bad. It's double what we're seeing from Khaldor. How is Chromie at 150,000 siege damage? When did that happen? It feels a bit absurd. But Enjoyers versus Cats. We're 20 minutes in now. 20 minutes in. Alright. There we go. Mirrodin gets attacked. And over here, they're making the next move for the mid lane forward. Top side, still a problem. I mean, this lane was a problem from the beginning. The amazing thing was that the Enjoyers are just totally willing to ignore it the entire time. Now that the top keep has been taken out, I think they will have to change that once it arrives at the core. But seeing how this game has unfolded previously in regards to the top lane, I'm not so sure if it's actually going to happen. Mirrodin forced to Avatar and jump out of the fight. They're still chasing this a little bit. Khaldor is getting some nice damage through here as well. With his flamethrower, he can also stay at a distance, which he obviously does. And now Sonya is starting to deal with the camp. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you can a lot of this go towards the core and let that defeat it, but it's really the catapults that you can take care of first. Another Dragon Knight. This time, they really have to work for it. Enjoyers, now they have to make a play here. They gotta make some choices. You lost too many Dragon Knights, and yes, while the cats have been wasting them a little bit. I mean, again, the last one, at least they got a fort out of it at the bot lane. Top keep would have fallen one way or another. But now Samuro is trying to start to piss them off at the top. They're focusing a bit more on the macro play with Samuro, and that's something that we've actually been missing previously. He was engaged in a lot of team fights, and this what we're seeing here is something he could have done already a long time ago. Just like trying to play more macro and force their hand. And I think this is what he's going to try and do. Shifting focus towards the keep in the middle now. Easier to take down. The problem is that if they're taking the fight in the meantime, in a 4 versus 5, they're obviously going to suffer the consequences. And the consequences of that is that they're losing 2 heroes. Now Samuro has taken the keep down, is now taking the core. So good for the red team to get those kills, and they can capitalize on them, but they also need to send somebody back, and I just cannot believe that it takes them this long. They just always feel a little bit slow on this. Maybe they're tired from playing so many games in a row, but they're losing the game to this now. There's this game. 2%, 1% on the core. Alright, maybe it's not game. 1 freaking percent on the core. No. Well, you have one opportunity. One opportunity. Get the Dragon Knight and the game. And guys, they're gonna end it. They're gonna win this, aren't they? They're gonna go down to the bot lane, they're gonna end it now. This is a 23-minute Dragonite. I mean, again, 1%, all we need. We don't need it more than 1%. 1% is fine. 1% is brilliant. That's all we need. More? Nah, that wouldn't be efficient. I thought they're Polish. I mean, I think we have some secret Germans over here, because that is definitely a German play. They win it. Efficient performance by the Enjoyers. They take the victory. A 1% core as the cats go down on Dragonshire. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Aldrich Pass! Game number 2. 1% is all you need, everybody. Most efficient game that we had in the entire qualifier. It leads me to believe that the Enjoyers are actually German, because how many Dragonites did we have for the cats? Was it 3? Was it 4? And then 1 single Dragonite is all that the Enjoyers needed. And they were just like, yep, 1%, 1 Dragonite, let's go, we got this. Napirdalai! And they made it happen. Good stuff. Really good stuff. So, as is, we are now heading into the second map, and of course, here in the Losers Bracket Final, if you lose this series, you're out of the tournament, you take 3rd place, the winner goes up into the Grand Final, where they go off against the Bathrobe Boys. Team with Hazu, Dino, Ultralisk, Masquerade, and Death Knight. Yeah, again, they had different team name here. I mean, obviously these days you oftentimes just like form a team specifically for one tournament. We have a lot of players that sometimes go inactive for some time, come back in, form a new team. Maka, for example, he's been off for a while now, but the Swedes are apparently participating or plan to participate in next week's qualifier, which is going to be pretty cool. I mean, it was super fun as well seeing Maka back then at the Miami International when he came to that event in Miami and subbed in, and he just did so well there, and especially the experience that he brought to the table helped them a lot too, particularly with drafting. If you remember, there was a tournament but Dino was actually not able to go. So Cho'Gall gets banned again. I still hate them a little bit for that particularly ban, but I can see why, I guess. I wouldn't want to go up against it either, even if you think that you can beat it. It's just like insanely annoying. So now we get Junkrat, and he gets just banned out, got banned out on the first map as well. Yeah, and we get a Nubarak. Okay, a Nubarak is the first pick for Aldrich Pass, and I've been talking about this actually quite a bit. So, if you remember correctly, the main reason for a Nubarak, or one of the reasons why you're actually picking him, is not only that you can use him as an engage tank to come in and try and go for kills, but also on this map, you have a tool with him to go for the objective. So essentially, the idea is that you're going to one of the prisoner camps, you're distracting the grunts with beetles, and then you go for a channel. If nobody shadows your movements and nobody is paying attention to you, you will always be able to get a bit of an advantage for your own team and maybe even lock in the objective while they are busy, you know, in a fight somewhere else or getting slowed down by the rest of them. Teams have learned to deal with this pretty nicely, so they have actually like gone to a mode where they are normally having one hero pay a bit of attention to what Nubarak is doing, and once he disappears from a lane, they are just keeping somebody close so that they can interrupt if it comes to that. But you have to keep that in mind or you're going to get wrecked. Particularly when you're going up against an opponent that has maybe not seen that yet, it can become problematic. But yeah, either way, it's going to be one part of it. Of course, in addition to that, you want to dive in with a Nubarak. You follow up with Stukov, you drop a Lurking Arm here real quickly, and then you have Hanzo with the follow-up, either with an arrow, can get the damage in, for example. So yeah, there's quite a bit of what you can do. Falster gets banned, so they're trying to get rid of the global for now and removing that swiftly. Now, with Blaze and Anduin already taken for the red team, question obviously is still going to be what exactly are we seeing on the side lane for the blue team, because the Haka is still up and it could go Urel. Actually, Urel is a really good one to point out here. I was about to say this, like Falstad banning him makes sense, but I believe at this point for the blue team, Urel would be amazing. Don't forget that Soaking also likes to play Chen, but given the situation that we currently have in here, a Nubarak Urel would be pretty sick. So we get Tracer. Light Bomb Engage also works with her. And when it comes to drafting, I think I haven't highlighted this in this particular series yet, but we have actually a rule that you can't pick a hero more than once in a series. Now, just to make this quite clear, there's no pre-bans. No pre-bans for the qualifiers, there's no pre-bans for the finals, for playoffs, for anything. But just to make it not too boring with the same heroes appearing over and over again, we are in a situation where we're gonna have only every hero only played once. So everything that you've seen on the first map cannot be picked again. Variant Tracer, Tracer Light Bomb Engage instead of Genji. There's Urel, and we get Jaina. So now we're getting a bit more burst damage on top of that too. And our final pick for map number 2, what's it gonna be? Here's the chance. Can they walk away with a 2-0 victory? They still need a little bit more oomph, I'd say. But they got good stuns. Varian, Blaze, both with a stun, Anduin with a light bomb, Tracer with damage, but who else is gonna come in? And, well, the answer is Ragnaros! We get a Ragnaros pick! Alright! Okay. Direct pass, everybody! Game number 2, let's go. Game number 2, the Cats against the Enjoyers, everybody. On the left side, Soaking with Urel. We got Drakia on Nuburak, Deviant on Stukov, Captain Rex on Jaina, Herath is playing Hanzo. And over on the right side with a 1-0 lead in the best of 3. The Enjoyers with Arion on Tracer. We got Ethan, Blaze, Lalakal on Anduin, Alvaros on Ragnaros. Oh yeah. Die Insect. And Richu on Varian. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit distracted. I came out of the draft in game number 2, and I guess we can also add that for the YouTube video here. And obviously this is all taking place live on Twitch. But it seems like some people in my chat have made it their mission to break my hype train record today. And we are currently about to shatter that record, as it seems. So yeah, people have gone a bit bananas, and it's slightly distracting. At this point, big shout out to Toda Killer, to Kevin, to everybody participating in this right now. I've honestly lost track of notifications. I have no chance even taking a look at that if I still want to cast the game here, but yes, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, boys. Really appreciate you. Thanks so much for that. Thanks for the support. It really means a lot. Thank you. Well, in the game, what would mean a lot, of course, to the Enjoyers is a second victory with Ragnaros. I mean, this is actually something that has been played in the past. We have seen stuff like Ragnaros Sulfura Smash, and, well, there's that pause again. Quick pause for the blue team, and they had that problem earlier. Are we now having both teams all of a sudden struggling with disconnects, or what's going on? Normally it was only the red team that had that issue, but now we're seeing the same thing also happening on the side of the Enjoyers, which is more than a little bit bonkers, if you ask me. I mean, do they have some Polish players as well? Did I miss something? Is it really just Poland that is struggling right now? Or is all of a sudden, I believe Soaking is German? That is a little bit too close to the light here. I mean, either way, I have no idea what the reason is, but it gives us a bit of an opportunity to talk about what's going on the red team side. Because I'm very curious how they're going to use Ragnaros now. There's a couple of things that you can do with Ragnaros on this map. Technically, it is a big map that makes Lava Wave a bit more interesting. And we have seen some teams pick Lava Wave on All Direct Pass in the past. But then again, if you're playing Varian and you're going for a combo that really revives a whole lot around you, playing with Taunt on Varian, you're going for a Jet Propulsion follow-up for an additional stun, and in addition to that, you're also having Anduin around with a Light Bomb. You can also go for Sulfura Smash, and once that you're dropping Sulfuras, you can really absolutely wreck them. You can very quickly come in, drop the ult, and try to just delete that hero. Tracer, of course, also has her own Tracer Bomb that she can use to chip in, so this is a comp that has been played in the past, can be very dangerous, and you're just trying to snipe your opponent wherever you find them. It's a little bit similar to what Anubarak is going to try and do with Stukov as he dives in. Stukov follows with a lurking arm, and then they're going to try and get the Jaina burst damage in. But yeah, there's definitely quite a bit that can potentially go on after level 10, and it depends a bit on how exactly they're going to try and play the game here. But given the situation that we're currently in, there is a decent chance that they're just trying to go full Sulfuras, tee it up for Ragnaros, and just destroy them there. So, we'll see. Definitely a possibility. And honestly, I am totally here for it. I was a bit surprised that in the context of Meta Madness, Ragnaros was not played more. So it makes me actually kind of happy to see him now played in this context in the second game of this losers bracket final. So the attack is currently coming. They're still moving in. Haven't seen a kill just yet. We're at the 2-minute mark. And now also with the objective spawning in a couple of seconds, no, don't forget about Anubarak and that little cheese. We are going to see him try to pull that off eventually. I would be shocked if he didn't. And then it's a question of the enjoyers monitoring that properly. Level 4 gives us the Incinerator Gauntlets. Obviously, we get taunt as usual. And Anubarak is already sitting tight here a little bit for just a moment. So, yeah, they go for Ragnaros. Baby Ragnaros is definitely one of the best skins in the entire game, by the way. I mean, honestly, that was one of the best moves from Blizzard. They saved Stukov, damn. Stukov gets saved and is able to survive through this. Now they're trying to go for the kill at Jaina, and they take her down. Good for them. Enjoyers with first blood. Enjoyers get first blood. They are able to take it right here. And now, with that said, we have them, of course, rotating over towards the top, or at least they should, because Urel is currently pushing for the gate, and either Blaze or Tracer should really try to go topside and at least get the experience there, which is what they're currently doing. But off to a good start for the Enjoyers. Get that first blood, lock that in. And in the meantime, we're now having Soaking, yeah, just sitting tight over here at the camp, making sure that nobody's diving in for it. I'm still waiting for Anubarak to eventually make a bit of a play for it. At this point, he finds himself down at the bottom of the map, so he can't really. But he should do that eventually. Frost Armor and the Fingers of Frost. Same time now, Alvaros gets caught, and that doesn't look too good for Ragnaros. Yeah, they're body blocking him hard. This looked a bit like a Warcraft 3 body block there for a while. Pretty much like when you have Boots of Speed and your opponent doesn't. So poor Rag was just like slowed down in that little pit down there and just couldn't get out anymore. Bad news for him. And it's pretty good news for the blue team. They're not really going for the... Well, they're actually trying for the objective. Maybe not fully committed, but they are nibbling on the edges of that camp, and they really want to claim it now. With level 7, we get the Blessed Recovery. We also have the Blistering Attacks now. Locked and Loaded is in. And as I highlighted earlier, I personally am just really curious to see what we're getting with level 10 abilities. What kind of comp they're going to go for, how they're approaching the game, how they're approaching the match here. Ragnaros with his trade already. Nice damage by Trace against the Anubarak. Oh, the jet propulsion missing. But Jaina will likely still die. No, she's alive. Jaina is alive. The jet propulsion missed and Jaina survived. Without the jet propulsion, that wouldn't have been a thing. If that would have connected, there's no way she makes it out of this. So yeah, insane. Absolutely insane. Now the attack, but yeah, Stukov on this map just sucks. Growing Infestation, Blizzard, Sexual Innuendo. And he just simply shuts this down right from the start. They're going for Soaking, and Urel is dead. Damn, these two, they're really spitting fire. I mean, those two teams, they're making such aggressive plays the entire time, and I absolutely love it. They go for Anubarak again, and it seems like Draka is in real trouble here. And can they go for it? Yes! They switch it over to Jaina, and they drop her like she's hot. 4 kills, 5 kills as Hanzo goes down 2, and there's the first objective. We are getting Raiders, baby. Raiders in the house for the Enjoyers. Off we go. 5 kills, 2-1, and nearly level 10. I mean, that's always a double whammy. If you're getting the objective, and in addition to that, you're able to pick up the objective, that's just the dream right there. It's going to be a brutal push. The Cats, they're not going to like this whatsoever. With level 10 kicking in, they got to be so careful now, and we're going to keep an eye on what Ragnaros is going to do. Eventually, he has to pick a talent, and it is Sulfuras. They're going to try and murder them with that burst damage that he can unfold right now. Sulfuras smashes in, there's a light bomb, Sulfuras, and bye-bye Stukov. Exactly, that's the kind of play right here, and there was no way for them to deal with it. They didn't have level 10 abilities at the time, and now they're playing this without their support. Damage on the fort is coming in. It is a nightmare for the cats at this point in time. They're really struggling with this. Another couple of stuns are coming out. Cocoon has been used too. No fort was essentially lost, but they broke through walls. They started to turn some of these structures to dust. And with 6 kills to 1 and nearly a 1-level lead, the Enjoyers are definitely in a good spot now. So Forrest is back up in 20 seconds, so then they can try and go for another quick move, either against Jaina. Hanzo could also, of course, go for Stukov. As long as Jaina doesn't have her ice block, she is fair game. She's absolutely fair game with this. And they're gonna try and do that eventually. So 6 kills, 2-1. We have up at the top side, Ragnaros still pushing this out, playing it a bit safe, since not everybody on the blue team was visible on the map at that point. So you gotta be careful with this. And, well, down here, we're getting the next objective announced in a second. It's still that 1-level lead, and the threat that comes from these quick attacks is a problem. Now, obviously, you need to coordinate this properly. Particularly since they don't have Stukov, they got Anduin instead. But, yeah, the light bomb, you have another layer that you can add to that combo. As long as Ragnaros is close by in the first place. Tracer has gone for the sticky bomb, by the way, so the slow in and of itself can already help you here. But they are not the only ones that can gank heroes, as you can see. Instantly, the attack at the top lane. I have no idea why he throws that out. I don't get it. Why drop Sulfuras that has a higher cooldown than your death timer? Yeah, nice little move here by Anduin saving Tracer. But yeah, that could have been... I guess it could have been worse, but it could also have been a lot better. But throwing out an ult in a situation like this always feels like a bit of a panic moment. In this case, they didn't do any of that. But yeah, 13 is on the board now. The gap has been closed just a bit, but it's still nearly a level. Anduin dodging. There's the light bomb. He actually dodged the stun. Good for him. But they still need to try and force that fight. Ragnaros is coming in with a straight. Can they go? Yeah, Jaina's dead. She should be dead. She should... Yeah, she has just no chance. She's absolutely hopeless. So Hanzo and Jaina are both gone. Easy kills right there. Now they're coming in with another taunt, and it's goodbye Nubarak. Unless he get... Nah. If he gets his cooldown back to dive away, then maybe he can survive this, but it's not happening. So 10 kills to 2. They have more than a level lead now, and they're able to take some forts out. They can also go for the objective again. So with only Urel being alive, there is a big chance to go for the second set of raiders, and they should definitely do that. Soaking is going to try and delay them at least slightly, because death timers are still low, and the blue team is coming back. But not too much just yet. So yeah. Level 13, finally available for the cats. The blue team, therefore, on the same talent as their opponents. But with the bottom fort about to fall and the objective still being attacked, if raiders are coming in, then we might even be talking keeps. Arrow missing. All right. Completely off base here. Going for a bit more of a risky arrow in an attempt to try and make this happen. But now it's an actual battle over the objective, and the red team is immediately starting to retreat. Retreating a bit on this one. 10 to 2. And yeah, still the camp in the middle. They have to deal with this as well. So that's another one that they really have to start to attack here. Whereas down at the bottom right of the map, we are still getting a quick attack happening. They're starting to, yeah, hope for level 16. Right now, it's the blue team that has to try and force it. They need to try and take the initiative and force a fight before anything happens here. So let's see what they can actually pull off. For now, it doesn't really seem like too much, but now with Jaina channeling, who knows? Maybe they are able to claim this after all. Because the Enjoyers, again, they would like to buy some time. That's a bit too much. Sulfuras is back. Now they get control here. Can they get the stun? Taunt, Sulfuras, and the Nubarak dove right into it. And Nubarak dove into the damage. Light bomb engaged on Urel, and Soaking is in trouble. Jumps out, but they're chasing the rest of the team too, and Stukov in particular has no way of escape here. Jaina also trying to run. You can run, but you can't hide, baby. She's gone. 12 kills to 2, and with that double kill, we're looking at 12 kills to 2 overall. And here's the opportunity to not only get another set of raiders, but also go for the boss at the bottom of the map, which they're already doing. They have level 16, which means that Anduin transforms into the Pullout King with his second charge of the Leap of Faith. And, well, the family duo is so far doing well. 2 levels ahead. 2 levels. And again, they also have the lead in the series. They've been able to claim victory in the first game, even though they had only a single % on the core. Which is honestly crazy. And Nubarak again gets killed. This seems to be a little bit of a thing that the side laner oftentimes gets caught here, and this happened again, was just feeling too secure and just dropped. Honestly, if the Enjoyers wouldn't make mistakes like that, I think they would be so much more successful too. Because having Ragnaros there just feels a bit weird. And if he's now with the rest of the team and has Sulfuras up, they could easily go for another kill with this. But now they're having to push with a 4 versus 5, even with a level 16 talent advantage. That doesn't feel comfortable. So they're coming in, starting to take the keep down, and I assume they're going to get this one no matter what. The question is more though, can they still get out? I mean, the objective is pushing too, so it wasn't quite needed to have Ragnaros this far out in the middle of the map. But yes, the keep is going to get destroyed. Top fort is also falling very, very quickly. But can they escape down here? It seems like they can. Tracer starting to zip away. The top fort is not quite gone yet, but it's only a matter of time. Boss is obviously attacking the core, but since there's still 2 armor shields for it and it's regenerating, not a big deal. Not really a problem. And the blue team has level 16 now. So they have even talents. Super Strain is in. Templar's Verdict has been taken as well. And in the case of Jaina, we get, as usual, the Numbing Blast. And Nubarak with Epic Enter. So now he can epically enter the opponent's backline in an attempt to get maybe a connect with Anduin and get a kill here. And yeah, there's only one boss back up, all the way up at the top. 2 level advantage is still there. Yeah, if they get a good connect with another taunt, they can use a kill. So are they going to pull it off? They're already starting to move in, trying to make a little play here. Yeah, here comes the light bomb. And where's Sulfuras when you need it? Alvaros! Low gets saved, Urel, and she gets the kill. This time he doesn't YOLO out Sulfuras. This time I think it might have been useful. But the bunker, are they going to save Varian? I don't think so. If Lavakal gets a cooldown back, then they can save him. And yes, that's indeed exactly what happened. So Anduin saves his father. That's the only... That's actually... I mean, that's awesome. That's the first time that Varian is proud of his son. That's amazing. That's such a nice moment for the two of them. I totally can appreciate that. So Varian, he's probably tearing up a little bit. Like, it took a long time, but this is the first time that I'm proud. I'm actually proud of calling you my son. Anduin is also crying, but then again, with him it's nothing special because he always cries. So they had a moment. That's all I'm trying to say here. 12 kills to 4. They're heading towards level 20, but we have an objective up on the map, and the blue team is fighting for it. So, let's go. Can they? Urel isn't here. This is a 4 versus 4, and now that Ragnaros is back, they can turn that into numbers advantage. Well, actually, Urel is now coming back over here too. Ragnaros could save this, I guess. Could go for his trade. And they are not even committing to the camp yet, so I think he's going to channel up here in just a moment, and then they're going to try and push for the camp. And as I say it, he actually doesn't, so... Oh, that arrow! If Tracer is hit by this, she's dust. Die, insect! They're going for the kill, and Nubarak gets squashed like, well, a bug. So he's down. And that's 13 kills to 4 now. And Blaze, the counter kill. But that's not only Blaze, they're killing Tracer as well. So all of a sudden, we're talking about a 4 versus 3. This started off well for the Enjoyers. They got the initial kill, but then they lose 2 heroes, and now they're going to lose the objective. Yeah, this looked like more or less a done deal for the Enjoyers. They were in the driver's seat for a long time now. But apparently they fell asleep on the wheel because the cats are slowly bringing this back with an objective they lock in. And all of that just in time. They can defend their keep in the middle. We have Anduin now with the inner fire. And yeah, over there gets stuffed from Tracer. So, down at the bottom of the map, not too much should happen here. I mean, again, that cavalry is going to take a while, even with Jaina coming in with her ability rotation. I think this is going to take a little bit. But up at the top, this fort should fall. The one in the middle, I would assume, is going to get destroyed too. So, yeah, we'll see. But either way, there is going to be some structural damage on the side of the Enjoyers. They have to figure out how exactly they want to play this now. Ragnaros doesn't have his trade, but at least he has Sulfura, so technically they could try and make a move there. Went into the heroic difficulty, so yeah, has the reduction on this. Is going to help him quite a bit. Okay, both teams with level 20 now. And by the way, on the damage side, Tracer is at 52,000 damage, with Hanzo sitting at 59,000. Ragnaros himself, roughly at 30k. Not too bad. All the forts are now lost, so essentially it's one keep that's the difference between the two teams. Ragnaros has died 4 times, same as Jaina. A little Song of Ice and Fire between the two of them, and apparently none is better just yet. Can I just say, by the way, I hate George R.R. Martin. I really loved the guy when it was like 2000 and I read the first couple of books, but that fucker has in the last 10 years not released a single book is just absolutely tilting me. It's so insane. That guy is just like too rich at this point. I really wish this would have never been a TV series, because then we would have at least gotten the books. It was already ridiculous when we had to wait 2 years for another book to be released, but this is just absolutely absurd. I really hate the guy for that. It's absolutely insane. About as insane as that team fight unfolding right there in front of Ragnaros, who pops his trade again, and they're starting to lock some nice CC action onto the opponent's team. Not with a kill though. Not able to get a kill here. We have now 13 against 6, but at the end of the day, really, they... Oh wow, they're actually going straight for the boss? Right in front of them? I don't think so. So, yeah. Well, in comes Urel. They still have quite a few ults available, but Blaze should really try and join up with the rest of the team. His bunker is needed in that team fight, so Urel keeping him away from them is a really sweet move. Nice bomb connect. Ether. Damn, son. Not dropping a bunker right away there is actually pretty ballsy, and he's even getting out. I mean, are you kidding me? No freaking way. He walked away from that. Varian is the only one that died. And you know why he died? He died because Anduin abandoned him. That's why. Anduin abandoned him. Anduin just let his father die. Didn't pull him out of the fire there. Unacceptable. About as unacceptable as George R.R. Martin's tendency to not finish books. No, seriously. Like, at the beginning I was actually totally fine with it. To wait for like a year or two. I was even fine with it when the show got released and he said he needed more time. But at this point, I am so pissed at this guy, and I am actually really mad. There's people that say like, oh, yeah, well, you don't deserve anything. It's just like, well, I don't know. People reading his book and really making it famous deserve an end to the story. Like, even if he just tells somebody else how to finish it properly, but it's just an absolute joke at this point. That lazy fuck is just sitting there, just shuffling money around from the shows and everything else that's being sold there, and just doesn't give a shit about his legacy, his fan base, and the story anymore. That man lost his passion a long, long time ago, and it's honestly an absolute disgrace. It's really shameful. I'm actually tilted at this guy, because it's the best fantasy series that is ever written, but if he never finishes it, it's disastrous. I mean, it really is. It reminds me. Name of the Wind, anybody? Do we finally have book 3 out? What is it with all of these authors just trying to write a couple of books and get a show done, and then just not giving a fuck about the story anymore, and then just simply letting it disappear in the ether? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Have some professional pride, for crying out loud. That's like me running a tournament and stopping before we have the grand final. I mean, what the hell? 13-7 kills. Makes me as mad as some stuff that we're seeing over here. It's ridiculous. Off we go. Enjoy us. Are we going to go to game 3? Because the cats certainly want it. The cats want game 3. Do they get it? Yes or no? They got an objective, but here comes Raggy. Ragnaros. And that bad boy can defend. This is, by the way, the reason why I'm always talking about Ragnaros back then played with Nazeebo. Even if it's not the best strategy in the world, I think for amateur teams it's still something that you can do if you are patient. And I loved it when it was initially played in HGC, because just the theory behind it was just so awesome to see. Have a hero that deals with objectives thanks to his trade, buy time for Nazeebo, who needs to get into the late game for Vile Infection, and then just simply do your thing. So, yeah. That's exactly why I love that combo so much and why Ragnaros shines when we're talking about defense and about him shutting down objectives. Especially since with cooldown reduction here, heroic difficulty is insane. Cooldown reduction by 50%? Are you kidding? I mean, hell yeah. So, they still have all their keeps. No boss up on the map just yet. We got the Trader King for Drag here. I don't want to be traded to your team here right now. Don't want to die that quickly. Game 3 or 2-0 victory? That's the big question. Hanzo by now, top dog on the leaderboard. 75,000 damage for him. 61,000 for Tracer. And Ragnaros is getting up there. 39,000 for him as well. So, with that said and done, the next objective gets announced. We are 22 minutes into the game and we are on level 23 right now. And we got the Polish pause. Okay. So at this point, I think we are absolutely justified to call it the Polish pause. I don't really know how that would translate, but yep. Tactical pause right here. Take a little bit of a breath. I mean, I swear to God, like, I honestly have a bit of a suspicion that there's nothing wrong with the Polish internet. It's just like one of those guys is an absolute fiend and just smokes cigarettes during the game. Every 20 minutes or so, he needs to go for a smoke. And if that just is in the middle of the game, it is just what it is. So he's just running straight up to the window. It's like... And I'm talking, of course, about like totally legal cigarettes and nothing else. But this is the only explanation at this point. It's the explanation that makes the most sense. And no matter what you tell me, in my head, this is the best explanation. I mean, easily. Or... he has an insanely tiny bladder. I suppose that could be the case as well. Good old Konfirmandenbläschen. So, are we going to get them with a 2-0 victory, yes or no? At this point, I really don't know anymore. The objective is going to be up. We have, with heroic difficulty for Ragnaros, always a chance to just take control here again and then try and control the play for, I guess, this particular prison camp, or on the other side. The blue team is sitting a lot higher on the map right now in an attempt to just catch somebody on a rotation and get that quick kill. That would be very, it would be such a bad way for the game to end, don't you think? If we all of a sudden just had a single gank happening somewhere, somebody face checks a bush, and then the game ends. This is not what this series deserves. I'm okay with the 2-0 as long as they keep it as epic as it's been. And there it is again. Ragnaros, die, insect, die, burn, burn, burn. Well, and they burn it quickly. The problem is that in that case, if you're using heroic difficulty, all the opponent has to do is walk back, wait a couple of seconds, re-engage. So, yeah, I don't know. Feels a bit unfortunate if you're Ragnaros. You're getting all hyped up. You're really just like burning it up, and then all of a sudden they're running away, and you're just sitting there, and you're like, wah. And they're back. So, yeah. Now they have to engage into this after all. Where is that taunt that we need? Varian has been practicing his taunts in front of a mirror all day, every day. Can go for one of the classics. You suck. I don't know. Go for the old Duke Nukem classics. Something like that. Pull a Leo.
Say hello to your sister for me.
If that doesn't make you angry, I don't know what does. Or maybe you don't love your sister. One of the two. I don't care. But yeah, Varian hears all the moves. So he could come in, Ragnaros could follow up on it. But we're also having Urel and Nanubarak shielding the front fairly nicely for them. So, with that said and done, there's the next little play. Oi, 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 oi. Tracer, careful. Take a deep breath. Einmal locker durch die Hose atmen, bitte. 13-7. Where's the taunt? There it is. Where's Sulfuras? Nowhere to be seen. He went for another trade. Light bomb has already happened, and Ragnaros is starting to carpet the floor here. So yes, the synergy was off a little bit. Actually, he dropped his Sulfuras. I just didn't see it. So at this point, there's so much fire on the ground here that apparently I'm even going blind. Now, to be fair to them, this down here is a pretty big wave. I don't think that even 25 minutes into the game, a wave can destroy a core that still has 2 armor shields. I don't think it's possible, right? I mean, I don't know at which point we have... where's the tipping point? Oh, right there. Right there's the tipping point. Urel with no ult, and that was the play. That was the play. Now they can go for the objective. Jaina is already low. Ragnaros with the channel. And over here, the core gets attacked. They can still defend this. I actually think at this point, the core might be able to do some work. Damn, yeah, they have to defend this. But that's bad news, obviously. 40 seconds without Urel. Soaking gets caught. He doesn't... Well, he has his ult, but he couldn't use it. He was absolutely taunted into oblivion and didn't stand a chance here. And now the blue team is thinking, guys, how do we deal with this? Do we jump in? Can we defend against this? We need to do something. Even the boss is getting attacked. Somebody's getting greedy over here. Somebody's getting really greedy. I don't think you can get both. Blue team is trying to defend, and they are. There's the arrow, and Varian gets caught. Yep, they are trying to answer the question how to throw a game. I cannot believe what I'm watching. The fuck are you doing? Like, honestly, what the hell are you doing? Are you kidding me? Did that seriously just happen? How greedy can you get? Take the objective and win the game. Insane! Guys, we're 25 minutes in. You had this. How can you just throw that away like this? Incredible. At this point, if you're the enjoyers, I mean, face hits keyboard. That's the only thing that I want to see. If they lose it, they're gonna... That has to be one of the dumbest moves that I've seen in a while. If they're not gonna... I mean, they're gonna be so mad at themselves after this. Yep, they just lost it. Guys, we're going game 3. I'm absolutely okay with game 3. I absolutely... Oh, well... As I say that, Stukov gets killed. What? What is happening here? Varian? No. Alright. What is happening in this game? They want to go to the 30 minutes. Stukov gets... I don't know what's happening here. Okay, but this is ridiculous. The Enjoyers had this. Let's be honest here for just a moment. The Enjoyers had it. And then the Cats basically had it. And both of the teams are just like, nah, we don't want to win today. They just reset. What are these guys doing? I understand that we're 28 minutes in, and obviously it's always easier to sit here. Look at the game, you know, like having absolutely no dog in the fight. It's totally different if you have to play it, and every single misstep that you make is immediately coming back to bite you in the ass. But Jesus, what is happening in this one? Oh, a game of throws right now. I mean, we're kind of tired of the George R.R. Martin references here. What are they doing on this one, by the way, too? Either you go for... Why? If you want to go and save the boss at the top, you can do that. But, like, what is going on in this game? Why do you give up that keep? 15 kills to 9. I don't understand any what's happening. They didn't even take the boss. But even if they were going for the boss, the red team wasn't ready for it. You can either go straight away or you defend the keep. Make a choice. Holy cow. Look at the damage outputs here. Ragnaros. Light bomb stun. And can they get Urel? Is it again soaking? No. He's alive. Soaking is alive, and we are on level 25. We are hitting 30 minutes on this one. And they're going for the boss. Really? Without Ragnaros trait? Yeah, because that's gonna be so easy now. I mean, at this point it's funny. At this point it starts to be funny. So they're trying to sneak a boss here. I mean, A for effort, I'd say. As long as they're falling back, it's fine. But there's the slow bunker arrow, and they're getting chased, and they're gonna die now, aren't they? Sulfura's in the middle of nowhere. They're still going for Hanzo, and Hanzo's dead. He killed him. Almost got the kill. He might fall. Can they save them on the side? Tracer still alive. Guys, it's a 4 versus 4. Just fall back. You're fine. You're fine. You don't have to fight this. Screams, runs into the fight, nearly dies. They are really battling this out all day, every day, to the bitter end. 16 kills to 6. Holy cow. Varian, he has the taunt. He's not fast enough. This series is insane. This series is just getting silly at this point. Vision is getting destroyed. They might have to double check there though. Ragnaros back in 26 and Hanzo in 16. Incredible. Damage output, we're looking... Anduin hasn't died yet. Anduin has not died yet, and now they're going for the boss. Please tell me somebody's checking. Guys, they're missing from the map. Somebody check. For the love of God. Alright, there they go. Oh my god, they're going for the boss. Don't tell me they're the ones sneaking now. Oh, it's so close! The stun, the slap, the arrow! Are they getting it? Light pump! Both! This is gonna end the game. One way or another, it's gonna end here. Tracer is dead, Urel is dead too. Who's getting it? Who's getting it? They're trying everything. The bunker is up. Andrew is running onto the point. Oh, Stukov is down. They get no, the boss is still up. It's insanity. Varian, they're all down and the blue team grabs it. The blue team grabs it. Ragnaros not there. The push in the middle and Ragnaros is gonna try and end it. And guys, he might be able to do it. He shows. He just showed. He just showed. They're getting the second armor shield removed. They have to go for this right here, right now. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The push at the top as they're going for the core here. Which one falls first? Jaina, with all the damage that she has, are they going to do it again? No, they're not. What a game. Unbelievable. He's not able to pull it off. He's trying the arrow from cross map, trying to kill him. It's not connecting, but it doesn't matter anymore. We are going to game number 3. What a shit show. Amazing. Game 3. I actually asked the teams in the chat before we're heading into the draft, and I asked them, you guys really didn't want to win, right? Neither of you wanted to win the game. And they're like, dude, we're just creating content for you. And yes, they sure are. So, yeah, obviously, some of them must be exhausted at this point. They've been playing one 3-mapper after another. It's absolutely ridiculous here. I cannot believe the way this series, particularly the final of the second map, has unfolded. Game number 1, we get a 1% core and they turn it. Game number 2, they essentially win the game, get the objective and decide, you know what guys, let's get the objective and also go for the boss at the same time. Greed for both and see what happens. And what happened is they lose 2 heroes, lose the objective, don't get the boss, should have lost the game right then and there. Somehow they get a kill against Zukov immediately, defend against the objective of the cats, and it ends up with a 30... I don't even know how long the game lasted, more than 30 minutes. Ends up with a game that is absolutely ridiculous on a boss fight where everybody just gets killed, explodes, dies, and it's insane. And we still nearly had the big win right there. Because of Ragnaros going for the core and trying to take it out. So yeah, absolutely crazy. I mean, now we're going to game number 3, and now we're going to get a winner one way or another. This is just what it's going to be. We currently have Sergeant Hammer banned out, Li Ming is banned, Vala is up. Vala still fantastic here, she's still up, so she can be played. And if anything, it shocks me that the Storm League and Joyous didn't win the second map. Because that sure looked like a Storm League game at times. Let's put it like that. But yeah, the cats are a bit too good there towards the end. Vala first pick. Vala first pick, and now it becomes a question of how they're going to play this. Vala arrow build with only one support, double support, auto attack. You can play both on Battlefield of Eternity. Depends a bit on how exactly you're, of course, looking at the game. Do you want to win the team fights and then go for the objective? You're trying to burn the Immortal down quickly. You can do both. But here comes the double pick for the blue team. And yeah, the Cats, they're looking in Grey main. And they're getting Diablo. Very good first rotation for them. So again, a quick reminder here. For the Cats, it is the first game of the day. They have made it into the winner bracket final. So they were much deeper in that. Oh, that's a really sexy rotation now for the Enjoyers. Garrosh Zarya on Battlefield. Ooh. Oh yeah, give me that race car, Garrosh. But as I just was about to say, the Cats are playing the first series of the day, so they are actually kind of fresh. Whereas the Enjoyers are now playing their third best of 3 of the day, and every single best of 3 went to the third map. So this is the 9th map that they're now playing in a row, and a lot of these games were super exhausting. I said this before, but I actually think that if the Enjoyers win this one and go to the grand final, that the Bathrobe Boys are going to walk away with a 3-0 victory, because I can only imagine that the red team is at this point totally exhausted. Now, don't get me wrong, even if that happens, would probably make for some fun games, and I think the Enjoyers would also be happy with the second spot in this tournament. That gives them a lot of points for the playoff leaderboard. But yeah, of course, they have their ambitions a little bit higher than that. Right now, if they make it here, that would also be the 3rd series in a row that they win, so a lot of momentum built up, I guess. But Zarya Garrosh is pretty sexy. Once level 4 kicks in and you have that speed bubble for Garrosh, you can do a lot with it. It also safeguards Vala a bit. There's our double support, though. That's actually an interesting one. It's an actual double support. It's not Diablo, it's not Uther main tank plus a second support. It is an actual double support. And they got Diablo with it. So this is interesting. It's a very sustainable setup that they're running. Huh. Greyman is going to be fully empowered with this. I wonder if they're thinking about going for Uther with a Divine Storm. We get Oriel and we get Rexa. Rexa top lane, Oriel for the additional heals. Vala is an extremely good battery. Would be a much better battery, of course, with an auto-attack style compared to an arrow build, but we'll see how they're going to try and play this one out. Could also help with Zarya a bit there. But either way, that is a very interesting draft now from the perspective of the Cats as well. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Game number 3. I mean, the series is going to end one way or another. It might take us another 30 minutes, but it's going to end here. And we're getting Mephisto as the final pick. Off we go. 3rd game. Final map in an absolute epic drama between the Enjoyers and the Cats. The final map in the series, here in the losers final, Drachia on Mephisto. Deviant on Brightwing for the blue team. We got Soaking on Uther, Herath on Diablo, and Captain Rex is playing Greymane. On the right side of the map, in the meantime, we got the Enjoyers after the loss on Aldrich Pass with Richu on Rexa. We got Arion on Garrosh, Ether on Vala, with an arrow build, by the way. Alvaros with Zarya and Lavakal on Oriel. So not going for an auto attack style, not necessarily interested in just going full all out in those team fights, but instead what they're doing here is also trying to focus on the objective a bit. As I said, if you're playing Vala with this lineup on a map like Battlefield of Eternity, you can do both. It just depends a bit on what the focus of your composition is. But right now we have on level 1, first and foremost, Hammer of the Lightbringer and the Soul Shield for Diablo. Alright. Zarya coming in and starting to burn things pretty quickly. And it's party time. So, right now at the top we still have 2 versus 3 because it's Greymane and Uther. And this is kind of the beauty when you have 2 supports. You can actually set 1 on each lane and then empower the top line damage dealer a bit. But Soaking? Careful here. That would have been... I was about to say that would have been the end of the day if he dies like this, but then again I remembered game number 2 and yeah, forget about it. We had some much bigger ends than that. They are getting a lot of damage done at the bottom of the map though. So yeah, right here, that's the end of Garrosh, but they at least destroyed the wall. I don't... Greymane is actually able to do exactly the same amount of damage up at the top side. I thought that they would struggle a bit more. Vala is trying to get some arrow stacks together. Maybe a bit too far out. Ether. Yeah, does he get another stack here? Might have had another one. Still sitting at 3. They're trying to go for the camp now too. But let's see what they can actually do right now. Claim the camp, but they also have to stack Vala up a little bit. Okay. Now, both of these teams, of course, they want to go to face off against the bathrobe boys here. I was about to say, like, rip that bathrobe off, and then I was, like, thinking about what's underneath, and I was like, nah, maybe leave it on. Maybe leave it where it is. But, yeah, burn it. I don't know what they want to do with it, but either way, they want to go to the grand final. So, with all of that damage done down at the bottom of the map, the team at the top is trying to do the same. There's a numbers advantage bot side, but here's the fort getting attacked too. So, Misha goes down. That makes it really uncomfortable for Rexa, as Greymane is just starting to shred this. But at the bottom of the map, they're just a little bit faster with the entire aggression here. Now, I gotta say that Vala is not able to get as many stacks together as I would have expected, considering that they are going for a continuous fight here. She has currently 5, which isn't really too shabby. Brightwing still moving over. Yep, that fort is gone. And now Vala may be able to get another connector too, to just get a bit more. Not even with the repeating arrow. I really would have thought that she ended up with more than that. But as both teams take a fort down, this accelerates the game. So every time that you see something like this happen, where each team goes full all out on a fort and teams are not defending but just attacking and forts get destroyed early, the game is being accelerated. You have catapults in the game, you have structures that get attacked a little bit faster, passive experience is increased, so everything is just accelerated in general. And what's also being accelerated is the demise of Greymane, because there's no way, okay, Brightwing, I forgot about her for a moment. They got a double support after all, but yeah, Greymane definitely very confident in his ability to survive there. With 2 supports behind you and Brightwing being able to global in, I guess it's justified. Vala has now finally, with some of those repeating arrows, been able to go up to 11 stacks. We have the teams at level 6 already. And he has also the speed barrier, so that's one of the biggest assets when you're playing Garrosh plus Zarya. You really want to empower Garrosh so that he can rush into these fights and then do work there. A quick stun against Zarya. Vala with a few more arrows that she's already starting to YOLO out over here. They are rather low though. I mean, they got a cluster up also for Oriel the entire time. But yep, a little bit of more damage is being done here. It's all about Vala trying to get some stacks together. And she's currently trying to do that up at the top as she's defending the Immortal against Greymane. Yeah. Gets 1, gets 2, 13 stacks. And there's the flip. And even with the double support, they can't save him. And Brightwing gets killed as well. Yeah. Game for just a second, also with a bit of a hiccup. I swear to God, one day they're gonna shut the servers down. That's what all these hiccups are about. There's like a little bit of and then it's like, alright, no Heroes of the Storm servers. Greymane dead, and yep, Brightwing got caught afterwards. So, quick kill right there. That's 2 kills to 1. They also win the halftime show as a result, with Vala now. Vala even has her level 7. Vala is going to win this single-handedly. Greymane is not quite on it yet, and Vala just needs a few arrows, and that's all that's required here. So, yeah, with level 7 already available to her, that should be a pretty easy one. I mean, just YOLO the arrows out, and it's yours. 14 stacks. Monster Hunter is doing work, and even with Greymane trying to chunk it down on the other side, they're just not going to win it. The blue team loses Immortal number 1. It's the Enjoyers that get the first objective. So yeah, well done. And for Vala, of course, that little interplay was pretty cool. This is one of the few times when you actually see level 7 kicking in for objective number 1, and it is because of what I explained earlier. The 2 forts being destroyed, accelerating the game. Normally, you wouldn't see that all that often, so yeah, quite well done here. But they have to push with this. I don't think they're going to get too much. Defense is there. Greymane can also obliterate it fairly quickly. It's more so a question of can they get more than the wall itself. Drop the wall to 50% HP, for example. That would already be a bit of a win. And, well, 15 stacks for Vala. Trying to get a few more together here. Oh, they got to save Arion. Garrosh, and he's dead. Garrosh is down, Vala's a little bit low. They didn't have Rexa here, so they were at a numbers disadvantage, and now they also don't have a fallback option. But with Misha moving in, maybe a chance. And Ether makes it out. 18 stacks, though. He is able to stack a bit more in these fights now, and well-stacked Vala can destroy an Immortal not only extremely fast, but you're also going to put her in a position where she dishes out good damage. Right now it's Mephisto that is in the top of the leaderboard with 28,000 damage, but Vala with 22k, it's not too bad here. Zarya is at 17,000, but Vala can definitely chunk things down quickly. Drops the arrows here so that they can lock the mercenary camp in within a few seconds. And that's exactly what we're getting there. So yeah. Level 10 also kicking in just a moment. And there is Aegis. No surprises. Okay, they got level 10, they're going to steal it away. Vala is empowering this and is making it so much faster, and since there are no heroic abilities, they're stealing the opponent's champion camp. Okay, I like it. For just a moment I was like, wow. Again, ballsy moving into the opponent's camp and right in front of them trying to claim it, but the heroic ability obviously makes it possible for them. But yeah, that was scary for just a sec. Brightwing is still at the top. And while I really appreciate also the fact that we have two supports here, keep in mind that essentially it means that the Cats are currently playing, I mean, Uther, Diablo, frontline. They don't have another side lane. I didn't have anybody else here for this. We don't get Dorans of Hate this time. Instead, we got the Consume Souls. And we have also Divine Shield plus Blink Heal. So they didn't go for added stuns. Quest completed for Garrosh, still those 18 stacks for Vala, and she already with one single arrow was able to remove nearly 2,000 hit points of the opponent's Immortal. The rest helped a little bit, but still. So yeah, Ether still coming in, Vala looking for opportunities for another arrow, dropping one, could drop another one, and gets burned! Burn, baby, burn! It's Auriel that dies though, Greymane going ham, and this is the beauty when you're having him together with Uther, because you can just drop that Divine Shield and he can go absolutely bananas onto the backline, which is essentially what he did here. So they're going for the halftime show. Vala has to wait a little bit, they gotta heal up, which is exactly what they're doing, tapping the fountain, waiting for Auriel. And now with the halftime show victory for the Cats, the blue team is trying to turn this one around. Vala sitting at 19 stacks, going to defend. Missed actually one of the arrows here. Didn't even use a second one yet. Could vault forward if she really wanted. Number 2, trying to also go for a couple of additional hatred stacks, of course. Can still pad those stats a little bit. Sitting at 19, but they're trying to get the kill here. Diablo in a bit of trouble, gets whipped into the wall again. And arrows are starting to hit and connect. But it's not enough damage yet. Vala gets that auto attack going, and another arrow, but the RNG is not with them. And Brightwing moved immediately away from Mephisto to make sure that that doesn't become a problem. But those whips are on point, and a nice move from Garrosh, and that's probably the downfall of Diablo. He had his stacks, but he's still dead, so he's down and gone for a bit. As Vala is still getting dangerous here, but they're starting to turn onto the Immortal now, and even with 22 stacks and Monster Hunter on level 7, that's already enough to get really solid damage out. The rest of the team is defending, and it took Diablo a while to come back to this. So Vala is now committed to try and rush the objective, whereas everybody else is defending. Vala moving back up top, so they're still trying to make a play here, and Zoging has to Divine Shield himself. Was about to die, same for Zarya, but she gets saved by Garrosh. 24 stacks for Vala now, but our girl is running out of mana, and the blue team is now going for the objective, and with Greymane committing, Captain Rex crushes it again, and they get the Immortal. 3 kills to 3. Yeah, down to the bottom of the map. Vala already hearthing back. She's definitely going to be needed for the next fight. And this could cost them another fort. Immortal number 2 is definitely going to hit a little bit harder. Vala's at 36,000 damage, followed by Zarya, 30,000 for the red team. And here come those arrows. Need to chunk that shield down as quickly as possible to get a bit closer to the action, and therefore also, of course, to the Immortal, and there it is. So, yeah, a few more arrows. Should have another one ready in a moment. Falling back here already. And, yep, Vala, again, personally, huge Vala fan. Love the hero. Was always my favorite from the beginning of the game, and on this map with an arrow build she absolutely excels, and you can see here why. It's one of the reasons why she is drafted in the top position Obviously, a few more heroes not available and banned out. Hanzo is still insane when it comes to all of this, but she is definitely starting to stack it up here. They got level 13 talents on both sides right now, and it is just carnage once again as the two teams are fighting for every single inch of the map. We've seen it in game number 1, we've seen it in game number 2, and game number 3 is absolutely no exception. A spectacular series between them, as they are all trying to just go for that one decisive kill and victory that allows them to snowball things. With 13, we now got 28 stacks for Vala. Diablo not fully stacked. He would be in trouble if he dies here. If Diablo dies, he is down for the count. The double support is going to keep him alive a bit longer for sure. Vala's still trying to pad those stacks a bit further. Greymane gets hit once, twice. Second arrow's coming through too. And Vala sitting at 31 stacks, but also a bit low. Needs that heal from Oriel. They're going for Diablo again, and he gets dropped. And just a second ago, he got his stacks together. Diablo, the moment he gets the 100 stacks, he dies. On the one hand, that's great. On the other hand, it's really annoying for him because it's gonna make it difficult for the next objective since he doesn't have the hit point pool and he won't have the soul stacks to immediately revive himself if he gets killed. So I don't know if it was great or bad because the death timers are not that big yet. I think he would have been much better off. He would have stayed at like 95 and, you know, then dies because he would have been back in time for the Immortal. There wasn't anything else that could have been done in the meantime. So yeah, a bit unfortunate for them, I suppose. So yeah, either way. Vala's in, Greymane has already started attacking, but look how quickly Vala chunks this down. The initial damage itself is already crazy, and they're getting this one easily. Dibbles is back up, gets immediately attacked, Bullet is out too as Greymane joins the fun. Halftime show is now won, and up at the top we have a camp for the red team. So the Enjoyers are setting everything up for that fight, and top lane will have to be dealt with eventually, but the same is also true down at the bottom of the map, and he's just chunking out arrows. Arrows, arrows, arrows. All day, every day. And he nearly has it. Misha goes down. Aegis to save. No. Can they save him? No, they can't. Garrosh dies. He's getting killed. Both forts are eliminated. The top side and the bot side. So they're still dead even. But now without Garrosh, they don't have a frontliner anymore. That's a massive problem. Vala wants to just get close enough to drop 1 or 2 arrows. That's all that she needs, but she can't get into that choke point, and Greymane is chunking it down on the other side. Now they can finally move in, and they win the objective, and it's actually by a pretty big margin. That's a huge shield. We're talking 60-70% here. And they will have level 16, and I'm not so sure that the blue team is already going to have level 16. There might be a small window for the Enjoyers where they not only have the push going, but also a level 16 talent in their hands. And yeah, that makes it highly, highly uncomfortable. Manticore now on top 2, so even the auto attacks are now hitting harder. This is the perfect opportunity to go for a keep. It's a big Immortal, as I said, as well, of course. So here's the play. Here's the opportunity. 37 stacks for Vala, and just a reminder, Diablo is not 100 yet. He's at 78. So off we go. They're starting to break through the wall. That's the easiest one. 60 now on both sides. So at the end of the day, the cat's still defending with the same talent. Uh-oh. Diablo. No! Gets fully hit. Pushed back out, and he's still alive. The double support. So annoying. Zarya is actually the first one to fall, and then Garrosh dies second. Damn. Vala got another stack, but I'm not sure they can get that keep. Look at Greymane murdering it. Yep, they cannot take that keep down. Greymane is just crushing those numbers. And so is Mephisto, by the way. I mean, Greymane is at 44,000, and obviously he's absolutely wrecking. The Immortal is also going once again for the throat here. But look at the numbers that Mephisto brings to the table. He's at 78,000. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's burning everything to a crisp. Diablo, they unleashed everything on him, but there's a double support on the other side. You have Uther with one heal after another, Brightwing with the blink heals, and it was just too much. They tried to burn him down, and if he dies there, that's the dream. But they just couldn't make it happen. Now everybody is back to business for the defense up at the top, and I don't think the blue team is going to get too greedy on this one. Would shock me. Essentially, the cans are still a bit behind. This is still a problem, or could be. This is the top lane. This is the lane where the opponent's Shaman camp is pushing through. But yeah, We'll see how they're going to play this. We see how they're going to do that. And in the meantime, we have the attack coming through in the middle. So, Dibbles is about to get attacked again. There's the whip into the wall. Vala gets a few stacks of him. But yeah, Divine Shield on Mephisto just to save the day for him. But yeah, so far, so good. I mean, right now, we just have everybody trying to get ready for the next Immortals. Another 15 seconds. And yeah, we'll see. Alright, with that, 6 kills to 4. The camp taken. The camp only taken by one team, by the way. The blue team hasn't gone for their own. So this is a bit of a problem, because this top side keep could fall to the Shaman camp. And yeah, that's in and of itself already a problem. They will have... If they want to save it, they have to send somebody top. And then it would be an open lane for an attack. Greyman is already attacking over here. They're trying to funnel through the choke point. Actually, they're not. They're trying to find some kind of opening that they can use in order to get to the Immortal. Once they're there, Vala with the 44 stacks that she has now is going to do a whole lot of damage. Ult already used for Mephisto. Yeah, but they are burning this one down. Look how quickly Vala eliminates this. It's ridiculous. Her damage right now is ridiculous, but the team fight, that's a different story. Can they win the team fight here? Vala with a few more hits, and it's Garrosh that dies again. Garrosh is gone. Topside keep will fall, though. This looks like it's going to fall. Greymane wants to go for the objective instead. They are trying to find an angle here. They know where Greymane is. The top keep is going to get destroyed. It's more about that experience lead, though. Getting that early level 20, that's a bit of a problem. But yeah, they're giving this one up. Which surprises me. Given the situation that they're in, I expected them to try and defend this. So, yeah. Greymane takes it. The shield is at 50%. Vala should still be able to burn that down fairly convincingly. I don't know if they can even get a keep with this. I mean, there's a chance, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they can't. But even if they get to keep, it's just even. They're just even in structures. So they need to get more. They want level 20. They get Brightwing towards the top lane, then they get level 20. That is their trump card in that next fight. That level 20 talent they're going to pick up. So, we'll see what they can do now. Can Vala burn this down quickly enough? She hasn't died once even. That's the moment when you wish you would have gone for auto attacks. But yeah, there's level 20. Vala with one arrow. Can get another one out in a moment. The heals are there. Shield is nearly removed. But oh yeah, this is hitting and it's hitting hard. They want to end this. Of course they want to end this. And the minion wave is also soaking some of the arrows up, which makes it even more annoying. They get a few more out. Vala trying her best here. She needs to stay away from Usa as well. You want to stay away from the stuns as much as you can. Yeah, the keep is already down. Aegis! And Auriel is gone. Auriel is dead. And boy, oh boy, with Vala destroyed, this should be the end. The Cats, ladies and gentlemen. What an incredible series. An absolutely banana series. Totally ridiculous. And at the end of the day, the Cats end the losers bracket run of the Enjoyers and move on to the grand final to face off against the Bathrobe Boys. GG.